Hello, this is Lori from Morgan County Public Library, and welcome to Beginner's Yoga. You need a mat or someplace on the ground that you can do exercises or poses. You need to be wearing comfortable clothes, and you need to make sure that you don't hurt yourself. So if anything starts to hurt, whatever we're doing, stop and back up. Go back to the last pose or another pose and just wait until that one is over and then join back in. So let's get started. As usual, we'll get into our yoga seat. Oh, I see that. I don't like that. Make that cursor go away. There we go. Back up. Okay. So get into your yoga seat. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit staff, or you can do this pose here, this adapts pose. If you need a bolster or a blanket or something to keep your hips up a little bit high, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. So one of the things about this pose is that we want to keep our back straight. We want to be balanced. We want our head over our heart, over our pelvis. Your ears should be in line with your shoulders. Your shoulders should be down. You can roll your shoulders back and then push them down to remind yourself. And then however you want to keep your hands, it's fine with me. So let's take a few moments, about 3 or 4 breaths, to close our eyes and get in touch with our bodies and just notice what's going on. If there's any aches or pains, if you feel tired, if you feel happy, if you feel antsy, whatever, just note it and breathe. So let us start. All right. Now, as a reminder, you want to take belly breaths, which means you fill up your lungs and your belly kind of pooches out instead of doing shallow breathing in your upper chest. And you want to have nice, smooth, long inhales and then nice, smooth, long exhales. You don't have to think way too much about it, but you do need to make sure that you're keeping your breathing steady and even and long. Just let your body know that everything's okay. All right, so let's get our spine warmed up. And I think we can start with cat and cow. So get into tabletop. Make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And we'll start with cat, arching our back. And then cow. And then cat. And then cow. And cat one more time. And cow. Excellent. And now I just want you to take your hand, put it on the outside of your knee, and bring your other arm back behind you and just gently twist your spine, looking a little bit over your shoulder. Feel your spine twisting. And then back to center. And now let's do that on the left side. And then back to center. One more time on the right. Back to center. Breathe. And then back to center. We're going to the left. Great. So we warmed up our spine a little bit. Yes. You can take your head and move it, your ear to your shoulder. And then back up. Now to the left. And back up. Breathe. Ear to the shoulder on the right. Back up. And now to the left. Excellent. Now get back into tabletop. Again, remember, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. I want you to grip the mat with your hands, right? Curl your toes under and lift sit bones. This is downward facing dog. Your ears should be between your arms. If this is too hard, you can bend your knees. Try, if you can, to get your heels down to the floor. If you can't do that, that's okay. And make sure you breathe. Deep inhale. And exhale. All right. Come back down. tabletop. And now we want to do plank. So we're going to move up on the mat a little bit. We're still going to be gripping the mat and having our shoulders or our wrists in line with our shoulders. And we're going to kick out our feet here and do plank. This is a very good core exercise. If it's too hard, come down like this. But eventually you want to be on your feet and hands, and you want to keep your back straight. Tuck in your tummy if you can remember to do that, and breathe. Good. Now, get back on into tabletop, and what you're going to do is sink your sit bones down to your ankles and put your head on the floor. You can stretch out your arms to stretch your shoulders, but put your forehead on the floor and breathe. This is child. And whenever we are doing hard poses and you need to rest, child is a good pose to go to. So now let's keep on our hands and knees, or not hands and knees, but get sitting on our butt, legs out in front of us. Put your hands behind you with your hands facing in front of you. Or, I mean, how do I explain this? With your hands, with your fingers facing you, facing your back. There, that's a good way to explain it. And we're going to do an inverted plank. We're doing the opposite of what we just did. Come back down. Keep in this posture. Put your hands on your legs. Keep your toes up, pointed up. Keep your back straight. Keep your shoulders down. Your ears should be over your collarbones. And this is staff. You want to make sure that you're tucking your tummy in. And when you have your toes pointing up, you're helping your leg muscles to be active in this pose. Now just breathe. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to have a forward bend. So keeping your back straight, bending at the hip. You want to come forward as far as you can go. Don't go too far if it hurts. I'm not trying to, this is not a competition. This is meet yourself where you are. So. Remember to breathe. Excellent. So now we're going to get on our back, knees up in the air, and lift your hips up. Keeping your hands on the floor beside you. This is bridge. And lower yourself gently back down. Okay. Get into step or being tabletop. Good boy. And then you're going to put your legs down and all the way to your hips, right? And then you're just going to have your back. So you might start like this, and then just lift yourself up. Keep your toes pointed. This is Cobra. And let's go back into downward facing, child. I don't know, I keep saying the wrong thing. Back to tabletop. Curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. Okay, let's come to a standing position. Keep your feet hip width apart. Feel your whole foot in contact with the mat. Feel your toes, the bottom of your heel, the sides of your foot. You're in firm contact with the mat. Make sure your back is straight. Roll your shoulders down. Keep your arms at your sides. Head over the heart, over the pelvis. This is mountain. Remember to breathe. Now, take your foot, place it along the side. It's hard for me to balance and talk at the same time, sorry. Place it along your leg, not at the knee, either above the knee or here on the calf. Okay? When you've gotten yourself balanced, bring your arms up overhead and stare straight ahead of the spot. This is true. My hands are like this overhead. If you don't feel safe, if you feel you might fall, make sure you're like up against the wall so that you have something to support yourself if you start feeling dizzy. You can be up against the bed. You can have a chair, something to hold on to if you're not sure of your balance. But eventually you want to let go and stand in tree. And also bring, can't talk too much. Yeah. See, nobody's perfect, including me. Not that I ever said I was, but now let's do the other side. What I was going to say is you can bring your hands down to the heart center. I like them up, it helps me balance better. This is very good for your core, for your legs, strengthening your legs. All right, now I'm going to do a pose that we have not done before. So if you have rings on, I recommend you take them off. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay down with your knees up, okay? And you're going to lift your butt up and put your hands underneath your butt. Then you lower your legs and arch your back up. This is fish. Your elbows should be close to your sides. If you need support, you can put a brick under your shoulders at the very end of your shoulder blades to help you keep the pose. And bring yourself down. Let's go ahead and get into corpse pose. So just lay your legs down, have them open up, flop open. Have your hands at your sides, a little bit away from your body with the palms up. Your head is straight. And feel yourself where your body touches the floor. Relax and sink into the floor. And breathe. Deep inhale through your nose, lifting your belly up. Your lungs are completely full. And hold it for a second before letting it out through your nose. Just relax. Soften your face. Let your eyes go soft. Stay there as long as you need. I thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you next week.